Good evening, everyone. My name is Edgar, and this is Mystcon. Welcome back, my guys and ghouls. Old Edgar has a bit of a surprise for you tonight. I have gone through all my connections and pulled quite a few hamstrings to get last week's reader to come back for another reading. You're welcome. So tonight we are going to be hearing What Magic, written by Crowley69, read by Crowley69. So, dim those lights and get yourself a nice warm beverage, like perhaps some coffee. And when I say coffee, I mean this coffee from vigorousbean.com. They have quite a selection, and the site was developed by a super coffee nerd. And if you're worried about caffeine, because perhaps our stories already keep you up all night, they definitely have decaf options. They also have their own reward system that can get you all kinds of free stuff and discounts. That site again is vigorousbean.com. Down below will be the link. So, without further ado, let's get to our story.
Lucian was a comedian, on top of his game. Comics see the absurdity of life and put a spotlight on it. Lucian was one of the best, but suffered from depression, self-destructive behavior, and anger. Yet had an uncanny ability to size up a situation into quarters and blow them out of proportion to execute comic genius. Lucian was a lonely man despite his friends and fame. A dysfunctional family was another of his stereotypical historical features. Some people never recover from these types of beginnings, and some thrive despite them. Lucian could never figure out how to feel loved. It wasn't that people didn't, but that he couldn't feel it. He was consumed by the still small voices, insecurities bouncing around in his head. Today was the day. Lucian had a show, one he planned meticulously. He started the show with morally wrong one-liners and one great, dramatic, and funny story. Then he came to the final part of his act. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Vitalia to the stage. A woman walks on stage in a mystic flowing robe, looking like a gypsy Halloween special. With her, she pulled on stage a large wooden box, human-sized, that laid long ways. Very coffin-like. I know you didn't come here for a magic show, but I don't really give a fuck, Lucian said with a smile. It was out of the norm for his shows to use props, but he was a performer, so people giggled and continued watching. Vitalia then pulled a cart onto the stage with a box full of tools and other objects in it. Out of the box, Lucian pulled 3 black candles and handed them to Vitalia. She made sure to bend at the waist and show her leg through the flowing dress as she placed them at even intervals along the semicircle that was created by the front of the stage, getting hoots from some of the males and rolled eyes from the females in the audience. He then spouted off some really bad attempt at Latin and a monk-like chant as Vitalia lit each candle. A black mat was laid on the ground with a pentagram embroidered on it. The human-sized box was positioned over the symbols, and Vitalia climbed in and laid down. Lucian strapped Vitalia down inside the box, though no one could see her at this point. You ready, honey? As he gives a half smirk. She replies with a playful laugh and a nod. There were chains attached to each corner of the box, and with a flick of his wrist, the chains pulled tight, causing the walls of the box to fall away. As the walls fell, the table Vitalia rested on was lifted into the air. She seemed to float in mid-air at chest level. Lucian continues his chant in English this time, but keeping the same cadence. We offer this soul to the unseen. Please open my eyes to worlds beyond understanding. Give me the gift that unbinds souls. I beg of you, hear me, and know I am true. At this point, people started to leave. As they get to the doors, someone screams, "The doors are locked!" And a panic rushes the crowd. This whole time, Lucian never stops chanting. "Why is the door locked?" Vitalia screams. She knew now that she had made a bad choice, but a famous person asked her to be on stage, and she was overjoyed to get this opportunity. As he finished his prayer to the unseen, she knew she was in trouble. "I call you through this sacrifice. Come be part of our world." And Lucian plunges the knife upward into the back of her ribs, twists, and rips it out. The table she was on had been designed with an opening right where the heart would be. Blood spills onto the mat, bearing the emblems, and Lucian falls to his knees under the waterfall, drinking and bathing in it, still chanting and laughing. Someone rushes the stage, screaming for Lucian to stop. With a grin, he pulls a handgun from the back of his waistline and fires into the crowd. He catches the charging man's eye and screams, "These sacrifices are for you!" The bullet lands dead between his eyes, spraying the crowd with blood and furthering the panic. People start falling at random from his crazed gunfire, all while blood is pouring onto his head. He continues his chanting. "I am here before you, calling you to empower me. I wish to be more than a man. I wish to know the unknowable. Show me the secrets, and I will sacrifice all." Lucian then steps towards the back of the stage and releases the cables holding the dead woman afloat. She comes crashing down onto the crowd as they rush the stage, knocking many of them over. Then the director screams, "Cut! You guys are awful actors. Get off my stage."
What a brilliant ending to this story. The writer truly took me through a roller coaster of scenes and experiences with an abrupt ending. I suppose you could say we trolled you with a horror story. So I hope you enjoyed our little story tonight. And if you did, please leave a comment below. And be sure to share our channel with your friends if you want to also infect their brains with horror. So until next time, try to enjoy sanity. My name is Edgar, and this is Mystcon. Have a creepy day.